Hi, this is Dr. Perry Carpenter. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join me on this video. This video is brought to you by me, Dr. Perry Carpenter. I'm the president of EZQMECE.com, a continuing education provider for QME doctors. And also this video is brought to you in conjunction with the American College of Chiropractic Orthopedics, which is an educational institution of which I'm a member. This video is the second in a four-part series of videos designed to produce supplemental content to demonstrate some of the maneuvers that are described in the 3-hour QME continuing education program entitled the Non-Physiologic Examination. And in video number 1, I explained or I described the categorization of our non-physiologic examination maneuvers into 3 basic categories. Category number 1 were those examination maneuvers that were designed to provide or to demonstrate inconsistencies on physical exam as compared to the historic facts of the case. And we went over several of those examination maneuvers, and if you've not had an opportunity to view that video, it is available on our website, www.ezqmece.com. So that was category number 1, the examination inconsistencies. Category number 2 involves the simulation maneuvers. Category 3 of non-physiologic examination maneuvers involves the distraction maneuvers. And then category number 4, which we're going to discuss in a completely separate video, are the now famous Waddell's maneuvers. And I go over an exhaustive discussion of all of these maneuvers in the 3-hour program, the non-physiologic exam. And I'll have brief videotapes of each of those categories of maneuvers. And today we're going to go over the simulation maneuvers. Now, simulation maneuvers are called simulation maneuvers because they are just that. These are examination maneuvers that are not actual examination maneuvers, or they are actual examination maneuvers, but they're not designed to target the specific tissues that are the cause of your injured worker's chief complaint. In other words, these are maneuvers that don't stimulate or don't activate or don't exacerbate the tissues in question, the tissues that are responsible for your injured worker's chief complaint, whatever that may be. So to give you a ridiculous example, if your injured worker was to come to you and complain of shoulder pain, a shoulder injury, or shoulder symptoms, and you were to do examination maneuvers down here, well, these maneuvers would be simulation maneuvers because they don't stimulate, activate, or exacerbate the tissues in question. And that's a ridiculous example, but we're going to go over several simulation maneuvers. Now in this case, we're going to consider an injured worker with a history of lower back pain with left leg radiculopathy. So that's our case history. Lower back pain with claimed left leg radiculopathy. And we'll go over several simulation maneuvers and examine our injured worker's response to those simulation maneuvers. Okay, we now have an examinee here, and we are performing simulation maneuvers that may be actual examination maneuvers, but should not stimulate, activate, or exacerbate the tissues responsible for the examinee's chief complaint, which in this case, recall, is lower back pain with left leg radiculopathy. Okay, so the first maneuver we'll demonstrate is called the hip wiggle maneuver. Now, the hip wiggle maneuver involves only the hip. We're only going to manipulate the leg. We won't in any way stimulate the lower back. So this should not cause reproduction of symptoms of left leg radiculopathy. So the hip wiggle maneuver looks like so. Flex the hip to 90 degrees, flex the knee to 90 degrees, and then sequentially, externally and internally rotate at the hip socket. There is no movement of the lumbar spine here. Okay, so we start with external rotation. Take the maneuver all the way to end range of motion and apply a little overpressure. Any pain?
Oh, I can feel it in my back, down my toes.
Okay, gotcha,
Oh.
gotcha. And then now in internal rotation. Take all the way to end range of motion. Any pain?
Oh, my back. Oh, my leg, down
Okay,
my... Oh.
okay, got it. Non-physiologic exam findings. Okay, the next maneuver we'll demonstrate is called the hip wiggle maneuver. No, I'm sorry, that was the hip wiggle maneuver. This is the log rolling maneuver. Similar type of maneuver in that involves only the hip and should not stimulate the lower back. So with the log rolling maneuver, we don't raise the leg off the table. We simply let it rest here under its own weight. And then again, we externally and internally rotate at the hip. Should not reproduce symptoms of lower back or left leg pain. Okay, any pain with this?
Oh, my back. Just
Okay,
my back.
okay, got it, real easy. And then internal rotation. Any pain?
Oh, you gotta stop, please, please.
Got it, got it. Okay, sorry. Again, non-physiologic exam findings. And then the third maneuver we'll demonstrate is known as the Gordon-Wilbury toe and ankle maneuver. It's a takeoff on Braggard's sciatic nerve stretch maneuver, but it's a simulation maneuver because we flex the knee, thereby relieving tension on the sciatic nerve. It should not reproduce symptoms along the sciatic nerve. But patients and examinees don't know this. So very simply, the maneuver looks just like so. Strongly dorsiflex the ankle while applying pressure here to the top of the knee. Should not reproduce symptoms of leg radiculopathy. Okay, a little pressure here. Any pain?
Oh, please, please.
Okay.
Oh,
Pain there?
awful, awful.
Gotcha, gotcha. Three findings of non-physiologic, or three non-physiologic exam findings, perhaps suggestive of symptom magnification.